Good afternoon. My name is Steve Powers, and I'm the IB Diploma Coordinator at the International School of Yangon. I've been asked to give you a brief overview of the options for attending the IB Diploma program at ISY this fall. Basically, there are three ways that students can attend this class. One is in the traditional method, where the students physically attend the classes at ISY. Two, synchronously, which is where the students may be in Myanmar but choose to not come to the school itself and attend via the internet in real time and have the ability to interact with the other students via the internet. Or asynchronous, where they again attend via the internet, but they do it at a time that is convenient for the student, depending upon where they happen to be in the world. The basic structure of the class is the classes will run through Google Classroom as they've done for the last 4 or 5 years. Entries for the week, what's expected of the students, will be posted every Sunday. There will be a unit calendar at the top of each Google Classroom to help everybody understand the pacing and allow people to work at their own pace. All classes will be recorded. That video will be posted at the end of each day. And there will be opportunities for the students that are not in the classroom to meet with their teachers virtually. To give you a brief idea what this would look like, I'm going to briefly show you my class. I happen to be an IB Psychology 12 teacher. The students would first go out to Google Classroom, which we've been using for 4 or 5 years, and they should all be fairly familiar with. They would have a tile for each one of the classes that they were attending. In this case, let's just go out and take a look at IB Psychology 12. As we look at this thing, we see a number of things, but first is the calendar that we'd offered you up front. The calendar provides an overview of everything we're going to do for about the next 6 weeks. And it culminates down at the bottom with the assessments and all that. But let me take a quick look at the first few days. So as we look at this, the first day we're supposed to do introductions and check at logins. Then we introduce the students to the broad health topic. Then we start breaking down the health topic into health models, then find its disposition and how people believe about their health. Then we move on to our first particular topic, which is stress, that we're going to cover in greater detail. So if we kind of look at how that first week is going to go, if we back up and look at the classroom, at the Google Classroom, it does the same things, it does them in the same order, it just does them in a great deal more detail. So as an example, we said in the calendar that we'd take a look at logins. Logins are here. We want to make sure that the students know how to log into the online textbook that we used last year. We also want to make sure they have access to the text, virtual copies of the text that we use. Calendar again resides at the top. As we talked about before, we introduce the health options. That happens right here. We let them know we're going to cover stress and obesity. There's a set of things down here at the bottom. There's a video that they can watch. There's a link to the chapter. Here's a little thing that we're going to do in class where they can compare what they learned from the year before and how that fits into what we're doing now. We move on to the next day, which this would be Monday of the following week. Again, much more detail than was on the calendar. There's a PowerPoint presentation that will be direct instruction, a reading for them, graphic organizers where they make sense of their own thinking, and then finally a homework reading for that evening. On each one of these cases, at the end of finishing that lesson for the day, the teacher would have recorded everything that went on in class. That recording would be uploaded and posted right here in the corner of that Google Classroom site. That way, students that were doing this asynchronously could watch and see what had happened in the class. Students that were doing this synchronously or were even in class, if they happened to have some questions about what happened in the day and they wanted to go back and look at it, it would give them that opportunity to do so. Okay, let me go back out here to our presentation. I've shown you my little Google Classroom. That should give you a feel of how it's going to work. It may vary a little bit from class to class as to how each one is structured. For example, an art class wouldn't necessarily go about it the same way that we do, but it would all be very similar, and you could expect it all to go through Google Classroom. Briefly, to just sum up, as I said before, all classes will be run through Google Classroom. Homework for the week or assignments for the week will be posted on Sunday. There's a calendar so students can understand how to move at their own pace. Videos will be added after each day's instruction. Students can always contact their teachers at their convenience using whatever technology they prefer, email, Skype. I mean, there's a variety of ways. Final thought is we've given this a great deal of thought. We had a great deal of practice during the spring of this year as we all had to be virtual. So we've given it a lot of thought. We are very confident that we can move our students very successfully through the IB program in whatever form that they choose to attend. Last but not least, thank you very much for your time, and we will see you all in the fall.